And of course, T is time, yes, so this takes the question when. P is place, which takes the question where, if the board's going to work, kind of like that. And M is manner. Manner takes the question how. So for example, we could say, I saw him quickly in the pub yesterday. So manner, how, tells us quickly, slowly, sadly, happily, depressingly, for example, all of those things. It tells us how it happens. So pretty much this is an English sentence. Obviously, you don't always have all of those things, but if you do have all of those things, then you have them in those orders. And occasionally, well, sometimes you can move this to the front. You can move this to the front here. Do it again. You can move this to the front here. So if I say, for example, in the pub, I saw him yesterday, that means not at work, not at home, but in the pub. So you're stressing it, you're bringing it to the front and stressing it. But generally, adverbs will go at the back. Now that may be different in Armenian, but in English they need to go there. This sounds, where are we? This sounds a little bit weird if you put it at the beginning. So you say, we've known each other for years, or we've known each other since the first class, for example. Since would probably be better here as well. So I'll get rid of that and say since. One more thing to talk about. This one. I always dreamt to graduate school. Almost, kinda. When we talk about what we wanted to do in the past, then we can say dreamt of. Dreamt goes together with of, so we don't say dreamt to, we say dreamt of. And because this is a preposition, what happens to this verb? Exactly, it becomes in. So yeah, I always dreamt of graduating, and school is an institution, like university, church, hospital, for example, so doesn't mean an article. So we say, I always dreamt of graduating school or university. Yes. I think there might be one more. The last one. Oh yeah. He suggested to change from French to German. Again, suggests is not normally used with infinitive. So in this case, no preposition there, or no infinitive of course there, and you'd say he suggested changing from French to German. Suggest doing something. Now that's actually the same for three verbs, for four verbs. If I can go to the next page, okay? So for example, you can say, I suggest seeing, for example, if you say I'm very sick, I could say, I suggest seeing a doctor. I could also say, I advise seeing a doctor. You can say, of course, I really wish you wouldn't do this with my writing. I recommend seeing a doctor. And of course, lastly, a bit more formal, but you could say, I propose. So you can, we'll talk through the answers together, you can write them all down. So don't write down the wrong answers, write down the correct answers, of course. So the first one, it was early morning. What now? I was driving. Now, if I say I was driving, think about it for a second. Let's start with if I was driving. Does that mean I'm still driving in the story?
No,
Yeah, because if you look at the picture here, the man, is he driving? No, he's finished, he's stopped. So I was driving? No, because that means continues or was unfinished at that time.
I had driven.
I had what?
I had driven.
I had driven, yes, because we're saying before the morning, I had driven all night. But the driving, of course, is now finished. So for the first one, we'll say, yeah, had driven. That's a very strong feeling. Okay, next one. So I had driven all night to get to Sheila before she. Yeah, simple, nice simple one, before she could. Yeah, in the past done. Nice. Okay. I got, yeah, to the hotel at 6 a.m. I checked that Sheila.
He had an instruction.
Oh, really nice. Yes, because of course the return would be before the check-in. So, yeah. No? Can you read that? No. Let's try again. No? There we go, something like that. And return. Yes, good. From the nightclub and went up to her room. Yeah, nice. So good, went. Cool. Number 7. As I.
What's going?
Why? Why was going?
Because he was activity.
Yes. Now, if we look at number 8, so number 7 is as I was going upstairs, I, number 8, heard. Now, if we think about that for a second, if I say, for example, it's going to get really annoying. I was having a bath when the phone rang. Now, if you think about this, can I change them round? Can I say the phone was ringing while I had a bath?
No.
Well, you can, but it sounds kind of stupid. Why does it sound stupid?
Because it means like the phone was ringing longer than you have to.
Exactly, yes. So when we have two things happening at the same time, normally we have a long action and we have a short action. Now, which one here is the long action? Yeah, so this one here we'll say is long action, and of course this one is the short action. Now again, in our story, which one is the long action? The going or the hearing? The going is the long action, hearing is the short. So when we're talking long action, which form do we use? The continuous form. Yeah. So long action, short action. So as I was going upstairs, I heard someone going to the desk. I wondered, I wondered if someone
was following.
No, to the hotel. Not in the hotel. Perhaps not had been following. We're saying had followed. Because the following is stopped. Because now we're in the hotel. So I would say not followed, but had followed. Because of course, the following is finished because both people are now in the hotel. So there is a destination, so the following is stopped. So I wondered if someone had followed me to the hotel. I waited to see who it was. There you go. Yeah, give you the answer. But after a few words with the clerk, they just left again. Yeah, nice, good. When I was sure, they. Yes, so the sure is after the going. So when I was sure they had gone, I slipped into Sheila's room. As she wasn't there, I had plenty of time to prepare. Yes, nice. When Sheila came in, I again, yes, long action, which started first, the waiting. So yes, we'll say I was waiting for her. She and look, look is a verb, so we wouldn't say wasn't, we'd say didn't look. She didn't look surprised when she saw me. Someone, yes, before this, someone had told her to expect me. She gave me a drink. I was the past drink? Yeah, you've got to write over here, yeah. Past is drank. So I drank it. I felt a pain in my stomach and fell. Past the fall is fell. So and fell on the floor. Because we're saying one thing, then one thing, then one thing. I drank it, I felt it, I fell. We're not saying at the same time. We're saying one stop, two stop, three stop. And now we'll never tell anyone that I have killed. Probably I would say I killed. Have killed would probably we sound a bit weird in this context because the whole story is in the past. So now I will never tell anyone that I killed Lucy Moore. She said, but it wasn't important. She confessed. No, that would be after that. No, that means many, many times. I did it. Yes, because before this, before the importance, she's confessed. So we'd say, she had confessed. Now, confessed, what does it mean?
To say that you
are
did
guilty.
something wrong.
Yes, I did it, it was me, I killed her. Now, of course, if you say she was confessing, that means she's saying, I did it, it was me, I killed her. I did it, it was me, I killed her. I did it, it was me, I killed her. Because that means again and again and again, repeated action. So here we just say, before she had confessed. And I,
Was hidden.
that means when she was confessing, I was still hiding. When were the microphones?
Hidden.
Before this, yes. So we're saying before this, I had hid. Yeah, cool. Sorry. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you've got one. Please, something else. There you go. So when we are looking at verb structures like this, actually it's quite interesting to read them backwards. So if we say, for example, I went and I was going and I had gone